Which they didn't. And this is something that happens in the NBA a lot. And this is my quick thought about it. And again, when I was talking about cause and effect before, well, and first and foremost, there's precedent for what he was talking about. It's not like we haven't seen this before. If you watch the NBA, you've watched them and seen what has happened as far as the game, as far as the calls sometime where you're like, man, what the hell's going on? Why is this so shady? And what he, not what he said, but a quick, one little statement about what he said, not the entire thing at all, but, well, not his statement exactly, but something that was written about it, and I found it curious. I think a reporter wrote this. He said, while it was clear mid-rant that he would be fined by the league, such diatribes can also have the effect of galvanizing a squad in the face of adversity.
Motherfucker.
Adversity. What is adversity? I guess my thing is, they're saying adversity, but that's not adversity. What he is discussing about, what he is talking about and discussing is a unlevel playing field. What he's talking about is the fact that I'm trying to compete in this game, in this playoff series, and you're not allowing me to by not doing your job properly. What he discussed was just the facts, man, and it's something that turned me off to the NBA. Now, I've had this discussion with a lot of my listeners, a lot of people from TDSS and whatnot, and they always ask me why you don't watch a lot of basketball. I mean, again, full disclosure, I love basketball. I watch it all the time. I used to watch it all the time. I'm disgusted by the rule changes and the officiating, which I'm going to repeat this again. Federally documented cheating. Everything was true. It actually did happen. So even way before the book was written, Blowing the Whistle, you could see something was wrong with the officiating in the game when they would hold the whistle for some people and give it to others. That affects the game, cause and effect. If you call fouls on me when I'm just trying to play defense, you're letting me know that I can't guard this person. If I can't guard them, they can be more aggressive. That affects the game. If you foul somebody out and put them on the bench, that affects the game. If you don't give somebody their calls, that affects the game. And in the course of this game, you have Memphis, who committed 22 fouls, and San Antonio only committed 13. Zach Randolph never shot a free throw. Conley didn't get respect. It's just, it's become so commonplace that people just accept it. And over the years, they said things like, home court advantage. No, there's home court advantage. There's, hey, you don't want to get on this referee's bad side. He'll give you calls all night. I've heard them say that shit. He literally said if you get on this guy's bad side, he's going to make calls against you. And they said that shit like it was normalcy. Is everybody really lost on the fact that that's fucking cheating? That is an unfair advantage? And that's all that David Fizdale was talking about. Let us play. If they win, they win. But what the hell are you doing? And on top of that, the other thing, he got fined $30,000 for telling the truth. Why do you fine somebody for discussing an opinion? Open dialogue is supposed to be a good thing. Why is it not in this case? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. There's no back and forth in this case because they can't defend bullshit. You're right. You're telling the truth. We don't want to hear it. Here's a fine. What are they doing? The same thing the refs are doing. Yeah, you're telling the truth, but we don't want to hear it. Don't bring attention to it. We just fine you for telling the truth, for defending your team, for coaching. It's his job to coach. They're not even letting him coach. How dare you speak about the fact that the refs didn't give you calls? And everybody brushes it off, man. And again, I understand this is somewhat of a hang up for me and maybe people that share my personality, which is overly competitive. Because of that overly competitive personality, I can't stand an unlevel playing field, unfair play. It's not sport. It ruins it for me. It's like taking your favorite meal and hell, throwing shit on it. It's no longer any good. That's what you're doing to me. You're taking a great game and ruining it. I don't like the fact that it appears that they want to make the stories happen. They feel like they know what's best for the league. They don't want to let it happen organically. My argument is that if you let the game just play out, that's the great thing about sports, is that it's truly reality TV. You don't know what's going to happen. You truly don't. That's why you got to watch the game. The old adage, that's why you play the game. You don't know what's going to happen. You think you do. You have a pretty good guess. You might bet on it. You're fairly sure, but you don't know. You never do know. That's a great thing about sports to me, the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. And they really, with the way the game, the rules are tweaked and again, this scandal with the referees where you can clearly see that will help teams out and people just play it off. I guess the nature of people is to want to believe things are on the up and up. So you play it off as this guy deserves that call. He's a star. Or this team has earned it. What does that mean? You don't earn anything. This is a sport. A foul's a foul, a walk's a walk, a travel. It's a sport. You don't earn shit. You follow the rules and call the game accordingly. And that has just been ingrained, dude. It's like a sports form of Stockholm syndrome where nobody even looks at the officiating or the rule changes. The same way they say the players are soft. No, the rules are soft. They're not allowed to play tough. They've legislated that guy out of the game. That's not on the players. That's on the fact that they don't want that in the game. But when people discuss it, they blame the players. They don't even take into account the rule changes. The refereeing that doesn't let you play aggressive unless they like you that day. That is your main component in why the game is the way it is. So consider the source. It's like being at a store or something and having a problem with that company and you yelling at the cashier. You at least need to find a manager. You know, you're fooling with low-hanging fruit. The players are not responsible for the way they legislated the game. So I think this is the same. This is more the same. It's ridiculous that this man, for telling the truth, for defending this team, for quite frankly coaching, gets fined. The message is, yes, we're screwing you over, and no, you can't talk about it. Sound familiar? Microcosm of society, right? You know, when the players want to speak up on black people being killed and our civil rights and whatnot, they're told to shut up. We don't want to hear that. You can talk about it, but not here, not right now. No different than this. Much not as deep, not as serious, but they just don't care about fair play in the NBA, and that's what turned me off to it, which is why I don't discuss a lot of basketball. But I will talk about the fact, hey, shout out to Mike Conley from The Ohio State University, by the way. Shout out to Conley and his teammates who are going to take care of that $30,000 fine for their coach, David Fizdale, because instead of being worried about his job and his image, he defended them. You know, I can remember back in high school, man, I went to a black high school and we were playing a football game and we were getting screwed over by the refs, which happens a lot, when you play for, an all black high school. But I mean, literally, dude, I'm not kidding. People always think I'm exaggerating when I say this. Literally, dude, they had, the guy was catching a pass on the sideline, right? One of our opponents. The ball hit his chest, went up in the air, bounced off his shoulder pad, bounced off his helmet. And the referee came over there and said, catch. And our coach didn't say a damn word. And all we could think about is how much he was yelling dog at us at practice. But in that situation, when we're getting screwed over in a competition where we're trying to compete, he didn't say a word. David Fizdale didn't do that, man. He stood up for his team. He said what he had to say, even though he knew he was going to get fined for telling the truth. So I definitely give him props for that, man. I think the problem with the NBA is unfortunately, I think business and sports sometimes don't mix. And because business and sports don't mix sometimes, this is like the result. It's wanting to dictate what happens, is wanting to create a storyline because they feel it's necessary to promote their league and keep it going. And I really think if they would just sit back and let the game take care of itself, man, the fans would enjoy it more. It would be a natural product. And again, the great thing about it, the unknown would happen. You write about the story in front of you, man. You don't want to dictate it because you're trying to create a certain storyline. I think that's what happened to the NBA. I think that's why the refereeing is done the way it's done. I think that's why you get fined when you dare to speak up on it. They don't even air the ping pong ball selection anymore. They don't even bother trying to fool you with cheating in plain view. They're just not even going to air it and tell you what happened. The Knicks and somebody else tied. I mean, it's just too damn convenient, especially when you consider the fact that they really don't have any integrity in that situation anyway. So considering the source, considering the history, hard for me to take them seriously when they don't even air the ping pong balls, when they don't address the refereeing scandal, and everything is put and blamed on the players. And David Fizdale, again, man, props to him for saying what was right, for defending his squad, and for being on the right side of it, man. Because at the end of the day, he's supposed to coach. He did his job. He coached the team. He spoke up on what he felt was unfair play against his team. The fact that the opportunity to compete was snatched from them. And that was his complaint, and it was definitely legitimate. And I know a lot of people say, the Spurs are a better team, and Memphis can't keep up with them anyway. They're the top seed, they're the lowest seed. If that is the case, man, they should let it happen organically, but that's just my opinion. the perception is that Memphis doesn't have what it takes to beat the Spurs in a 7-game series. In reality, they're being robbed of the opportunity to compete because their team doesn't match up with the league's agenda. All right, man, I appreciate everybody listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Well, once again, sir, hosted by that ninja, man. I appreciate y'all coming aboard. Man. That's my little opening rant, man. The show is going to be basically going to do my show today, man. But I am substitute hosting for Doug Stewart, so this is not my format, not my show. But my show, by the way, is the Underground Railroad Show, which you can find on Spreaker. And it airs on WSME at 5 o'clock Central, 6 Eastern on Mondays, man. So check me out if you haven't done that yet. And also on Thursday, I run an independent show on Spreaker, man, right around 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So the Underground Railroad Show, the train runs Mondays at 5 Central, 6 Eastern on WSME, and Thursdays on my my particular format on Spreaker at 6 Central and 7 Eastern, man. So check me out if you get the opportunity. Appreciate everybody, man, listening to the Doug Stewart Show, being in here today. Okay, normally I go through the chat. Not gonna happen today. Normally I kind of go through the chat, introduce people. I'm doing Doug's format today, man, so it's way too many people in here to do that, man. But thank y'all for listening, man. I will go through, be selective with the chat. Read a couple of reactions here and there, man, but I couldn't possibly get to everybody. Way too many people in here, but thanks for listening, man. I'm gonna try to be entertaining today. Be sure to put your thoughts in there where you want to go. Today, what I'm gonna do, man, after had a little opening rant about David Fizdale, I just felt the need to speak on that because that's my type of dude, man. That's a man right there, speaking up for what is right. And again, that situation reared its head where that's what turned me off to the NBA. That's why I don't watch it as much as I used to. But today, obviously, man, we'll discuss Aaron Hernandez allegedly killing himself in jail. And yes, I did say allegedly. We're going to discuss the fraud by Eli Manning and the history of the Mannings and why it's not really surprising. We're also going to discuss, I'll go over a couple of scores, but the NBA as far as some of the games, because I am on this format, I'm sure you want to hear that a little bit. And then we're going to get into the NFL draft, man, a few teams here and there where I think they should go as far as their selections. So that's what I'm going to do today, man. That's my format. That's how we're going to run this thing on the Doug Stewart Show today. Once again, thank you, Doug Stewart. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you allowing me to do this. All right, I'm going to go through the chat a little bit, man. Trying to look at the chat and see who's in here. See, you know what? I do see something in here, and I forgot to do that. You know what? Hey, shout out to Derek in the chat room. What's going on, sir? I see Derek says Ninja took a toke and cleared his throat. 420. Sir, thank you. I forgot to do that, and I got it wrote down right here. Everybody, happy 420. Happy 420, everybody. Today is 420. If you're not aware, this is National Smoke Day, if I'm not mistaken. I think, isn't that what it's called? National Smoke Day? Something like that. Right? So today is 420 and it's National Smoke Day.
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, it is National Smoke Day.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man. Take advantage. I'm in love with marriage and
Happy 420, everybody. Allegedly. Happy 420. And you know what the cool thing about this, man? 420 is actually preceding my birthday, which is tomorrow. So I was born the day before 420. Coincidence? I think not. Oh, definitely going to enjoy that tomorrow, man. I'm actually going to be in the A tomorrow, man. So I don't know, man. Hopefully we can hook up with some of the X Squad, which rolls deep in Atlanta, man. We might get to do a show or something, or at least go out and have a couple of drinks or something. So I'll definitely be in the A tomorrow, man. So Doug Stewart kind of gave me an early birthday present. Once again, thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. I completely forgot about 420. I meant to mention that, man. Yeah, happy 420 to everybody, man. Happy 420 to everybody. Oh, man, I see some people up in there. Hey, man, thank y'all for coming on the Doug Stewart Show. I almost did my intro. I got to remember where I'm at. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank y'all for listening up. I'm going through the chat, trying to read a couple things here, man. I'm wanting a couple of things here. One, I'm wanting the reaction to me being on the air because we really didn't tell anybody, so this should have been a surprise when I came on here. When you did hear my voice, it should have been a surprise, so that's what I'm looking for to see when it first happened. So I'm looking for a little reaction to that and a little reaction to the opening rant, man. We're going to go through the show, get into the topics, man, and a little back and forth of what y'all saying. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry. That's funny to me. I'm seeing the reaction to people finding out that I'm damn hosting the show.